We're going to talk about how your financials are a little bit like March Madness. Is that right?
They are.
Okay, so how is that?
A couple things. First of all, at the beginning of each year, a lot of people put together financial plans. Unfortunately, after 2 or 3 months, people forget all about them. So we use March Madness as a great opportunity to go back and talk to these clients and say, okay, let's revisit these plans.
Oh, that's a good idea. And it kind of just puts you at a guide, like where are you at, 2 or 3 months into the year?
That's right. We don't want to get too far into the summer and let the budget get away from them.
Let's talk about that. For financials, it always seems for people who aren't like super strict at a budget, it seems overwhelming when you're like, where do I even start?
It's pretty easy. Let's look at the basics of budget.
Okay.
But let's look at the basketball side of it too. When you create your bracket, what you do is you choose the teams that give you the best opportunity to win a championship. I look at that when I create a budget. So what we do is we look at expenses that give you the best opportunity for a balanced budget. Okay, very easy, and they sort of parallel each other.
Okay, and that's just the basics right there.
That's a basics.
And then we always have to watch out for, like you say, these bracket busters. But
Bracket
it's the same
busters.
thing too with like your budget, like things that can hurt you.
You have a bracket buster, you also have a budget buster. When it comes to a bracket buster, we're familiar with that. What happens here is, let's say as an example, you have a team that you have chosen for the Final Four. Unfortunately, they get beat in the first round.
Yes.
That could bust your bracket. Well, budgets are the same way. You have a budget that you want to have balance at the end of the year. Unfortunately, you have some expenses you didn't plan on. Those could bust your budget. So you need to set aside some additional money outside of your budget, dip into that to take care of those expenses. It keeps your budget whole.
How much would you say we need for an emergency fund? How much is a good idea?
Typically, a rule of thumb, when you're younger, probably 2 months worth of salary.
Okay.
When you're older, about 6 months worth.
Why is that? Why does it differ whenever you're older?
You're getting a little bit closer to the end game. When you get to retirement, you're no longer going to have money coming in as payroll.
That makes sense, absolutely. We also need to talk about setting your goals too, because each of us has a different goal. Some is a house, some people want a new car, some just want, a fun retirement.
Perfect. And what you need to do is, first of all, when you set up a financial plan, you do have to find out what are your goals. Once you have your goals, put them in writing. Is it to get to a retirement, to buy your house, to send the kids to school? Once you put your plan in place, you put your goals in writing, you're going to stick with that plan a lot longer than if you don't put them in writing.
And make sure and talk to your spouse, right?
Talk to your spouse. You gotta.
They have different ones
That's
as well.
right. That's right.
It's always safe that way.
That's true.
All right, thanks so much for being with us, team. For more information about all of these tips, just visit our website and click on this story.